So, I have gotten myself into a bit of a pickle here. This Volkswagen, I rebuilt the carburetor, got spark, got it running. It cranked up incredibly easily and idled. However, it dumped the entire contents of the oil pan right over there in probably, 15 seconds of running, 30 seconds of running. I didn't run it dry, don't worry. And it was all pouring out from under the fan shroud. Well, what's under a fan shroud in a Volkswagen? The oil cooler, right there. Now, these little gaskets that I didn't even know about them, they looked pretty knackered. One of them wasn't even seemed to be in the right spot. So that very well could have been where the oils come from. But, hey kitty, you want to be in the video? The problem is, I had to take all of this apart. And a lot of this stuff was so rusty that it's only ever coming apart once. Like, I had 2 bolts break, 3 bolts break. There, and there. Those are the heat risers. Heat risers are 100% plugged, as they always do, as well as in the intake. Now, the only tins, I know that the tins are very important in the context of the car. You also have a gasket that runs around the outside of the car, so I understand they're important in that sense, but I don't have a Beetle here. I have a golf cart. So, I'm thinking what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut all the tins off, except for these cylinder tins, the ones that go under the cylinders, and obviously the fan shroud needs to stay. That's eliminating all of the front tins because they're just so rusty I can't even get bolts back through them. They're just rusted away to nothing. This front tin might need to be replaced. It's pretty bad. That's just rust. And it's got none of the mounts on the front. Those 2 bolts had to be ground off. There was nothing I could do. So I don't know. That one might have to be replaced. Although I really do not want to spend money on this project because I'm not even guaranteed it's going to work. This guy over here, he came off pretty smoothly. He's a lot less rusty. It's just that guy right down there is holding me up. And they're all flathead screwdrivers for whatever reason. So he'll be able to be reused. I'll have to get that bolt off somehow, maybe grind it from the bottom. So this tin's fine. The other problem I have is I'm worried about how sound this oil cooler is. It was really rusty, and there's a lot of oil caked up higher in it, so this might also be dead, which is not good because I feel like that isn't cheap. Too bad this isn't a doghouse style Volkswagen where they mount more to the back and then they kind of come outside of the fan shroud but over. It doesn't rob the air from 3 and 4. Those are easier to work on. These were, I'm not going to lie, it was a pain. I had to take, as you can see, generator, carburetor, intake, all the tins, distributor. We are at top dead center, by the way, so that's not a problem. It was a bit of a pain to get to, but I guess it's just part of it. Now that I got it apart, though, and it was really plugged up, there were shell acorns and all sorts of mess all in here. I've been vacuuming it out. I guess it's a good chance to degrease it, clean it out, and paint what few tins are going back on this. So basically just the shroud, that tin, maybe the valve covers as well. We can go ahead and get them where they're not rusting anymore. I don't care about making it look good, it's just so it don't rust. But I also got in a new tire. As you can see, I'm about to get a matching one for that side. This is just, haven't done it yet. But that's on a different rim. I have 6 rims kicking around total for these things. But anyway, yeah, that's all that's going on. I gotta beef it up, and then I got to get it running again, because like I said, it was running, and it was running good. It ran really nice, but the thing was puking so much oil I couldn't ignore it. It was completely unrunnable. So much oil. And the oil cooler, it was fairly loose. It might have just been fairly loose, and all I needed to do was snug it up. But by the time I got to that oil cooler, I'm gonna check everything else, man. So I gotta find a good place to get some used parts really cheap, because I ain't trying to spend no money on this. I really ain't. I already got like, I think like $40 in all of it, $50, and that's a lot more than I wanted to spend. But oh well. Only other update is I got some new toys for it. Speedometer out of a Beetle, a tack, a oil pressure gauge, oil temperature gauge, except that's the amp meter. The oil temperature is somewhere around here. Brand new key barrel, so wire that up. This is off of a Scout International Harvester, so I'll put signal lights on it. That's emergency when you pull, so that's pretty cool. It's actually a Napa part, but it was on the International. It was pretty neat anyway. Got a whole bunch of tubes. They're not here at the moment. Got some more rims. I got more spare lug nuts. I got a spare brake drum because one of the lugs on that brake drum is stripped. I picked up a whole bunch of steel cable today so I can run my clutch. I still got to do the brakes and the gas pedal, but neither of them should be too hard. It's really now, how screwed am I with these tins being as bad as they are? Because I guarantee you a full new set of tins is not cheap. But you know, that's just where we're at. So anyway, that was a quick little update. As you can see, my once clean garage is a complete mess again, as always. But that's about it. And I did determine for sure that this is a 1966 Volkswagen Beetle subframe engine, and it's a 1300 cubic centimeters. So that's what we're dealing with here. 6-volt system. But yeah, and then I should maybe think about getting it some things that I should have bought a long time ago, like plug wires and yeah, and then an oil filter I got oil, I just don't have a filter because this still has the original filter, and I can't find a parts store that sells them. Hey kitty, are you angry? That's a stray cat. Well, he's been at work. He could care less about impact guns and other loud things, so we're trying to... Well, he'll let me go pet him if I want to, but we're going to move him into the house in about a day. But anyway, that's it for the Volkswagen. I just thought I would update you with where I'm at.